hope you all are well. So the first thing I'm doing as always is priming the eye area, and today I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer, and this will just help the shadows to adhere a bit better to the eyes, to blend that bit easier and to last all day long too. So I'm just using a large synthetic brush just to pat and press this product into the skin. Now I'm using the Zoeva Smoky palette, and I know someone on my last tutorial said to me this was discontinued, which I'm devastated about because it's a brilliant palette, but some of you that have it wanted to see more looks with it, so that's what I'm doing today. And if you don't have the palette, don't worry, you can just use similar toned shadows that you have in your collection already. So the first shade I've taken is called Dustin Memories. It's that nice matte dusty pink shade, and I've just taken this eyeshadow on my fluffy blending brush, and as you can see now I'm adding it into the crease of the eye and then winging it out on that outer edge. I'm layering the shadow now just so that it packs more of a punch. I've gone back in, dipped my brush in the pan, tapped off the excess product so that I don't have fallout down onto my cheeks, and then I'm back blending the shadow back and forth in the crease just to intensify the eyeshadow. For the lower lash line then, I'm using a smaller brush. This is just a pencil brush from Sigma. I've had it about 10 years. So I've dabbed some of that pink shade again onto the brush. Now I'm sweeping this from outer to inner corner. So my eyes are really sensitive and tear up easily. I do find adding shadow down along the lower lash line can sometimes irritate my eyes, or the brush can tickle my eyes. So what I do is I take my time, make sure that I keep blinking regularly. I know it sounds strange, but it does prevent my eyes from watering. Then I'm taking that shadow right next to the pink called Smoky Wishes, and I'm using that exact same blending brush just to add this shadow onto the eye next. So rather than using the tip of the brush like I did for the crease, I'm actually using the side of the brush to pat and press this shadow down onto the eyelid. Then I'll go back in and use the tip for blending the shadow just up into the crease, and because this I suppose has excess shadow from the previous shade, it just helps then to fuse those two colours together. I'm reapplying now to the eye again, just patting that shadow down onto the lid, and then I'm sweeping back and forward in the crease just to make sure everything is nice and soft and blended. And you'll notice I've left a little space on the inner third bare. That's for a shadow in a moment's time. So I've picked up some more of this shadow now, this time on that same pencil brush, and I'm slowly sweeping this close to the lash line initially on the outer corner, and then I'm blending downwards to give a nice smoky feel. I'm then picking up a little more shadow on my brush and continuing from the centre of the lower lash line across to the inner corner, and again, if your eyes water like mine, you can build up the shadow slowly in stages as well. So then I'm taking the shade Searching on a small bullet shaped brush. This is more dense than the pencil brush that I used previously, so it'll pack on more shadow, which is why I've opted for this brush for the lid. I'm adding this now to the inner third of the eye, just sweeping it back and forward in there, and then of course blending it across a little further, just so that it meshes nicely with the other lid shade. Then I'm picking back up my blending brush. I've no product on this at all, and I'm just dusting my brush over the eye area to make sure that everything is blended out seamlessly. I like to be extra sure that I've no harsh edges. Now then, I'm moving on to the black, and I'm taking that shade Real Light, and I'm using a little C-shaped brush to wriggle this shadow along the upper lash line, and then when I have less product on my brush, I'm raising my brush up a bit higher and pulling the shadow up onto the lid. So then to fade out the shadow further, I'm taking a tapered blending brush, and I'm using one like this because it's more precise than a fluffy brush. With that black eyeshadow, I just wanted to keep it in a specific area, so just on the outer portion of the eye, and I can keep it just to that area with a smaller brush. You can just be, I suppose, more precise overall. Now then, I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm wriggling the brush around the edges of the makeup look, just to ensure that the shadow fades out to nothing the closer to the brow bone it gets. No harsh lines around here. So then I'm taking an angled brush now, and I'm using this to press some of the black eyeshadow along the upper lash line. This will add depth to that area, and it'll also help to hide the band of the lashes that I'll be adding in a moment. And once I've done the top, then I'm adding that shadow down to the lower lash line too, keeping it right in at that lash bed. So despite the deeper colours on the eyes, I do want to add a bit of brightness to the look. So I'm using a nude pencil to line the inside of the eye. And adding this to the waterline will give the illusion that it's just a continuation of your eyeball, making the eyes look bigger and brighter. I've then added the Ardell Wispy Lashes, and now I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara to blend my own lashes in with the false ones. But then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you did, do let me know. I'd be delighted to hear from you, and I will catch you all very soon.